Hello there, and welcome back. It is I, Weaslix, and here we are to play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, once again, we're here on this fourth case, in this time Mr. Natsume's room. Just before we start to talk with Sherlock Holmes, still investigating, and yeah, I guess we don't have the time to finish this investigation before I come back because it is indeed the last video. Isn't that great or is it bad? Oh no. I guess I should say that's a good thing for me. Finally, I reached this point. In any case, let's start and we'll talk more about it at the end of the video. Just to make the points, if that's alright. I don't know how long it'd be, but probably not that long. There's many things to talk about. Anyway, let's see. Just look at this place. And smell it. It's a must in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither. It's so dark in here too. Hey, it's those bricked windows. Is that the window over here? There it was the window. I think yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. When did this happen? This is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you? No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garadeb told us, the detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Is he here? Is he here? Or there? The desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume will sit there and read while stroking his cat. I'd like to have a cat too. So cute. Surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Guess he must have done, mustn't he? What's this? It's received from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, the date of purchase, 2 days ago, at 4:45. It's the day of the incident. Just a short while before he was embroiled in this terrible attack. Must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Good. I'd like to have some music now. Maneki Neko. It's big and... It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Shall Mr. Natsume bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him? I hardly think you're in position to comment, Mr. Naruto, with this katana. A remote doll? You do? Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted the lucky charm. I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this catch is sure to become good luck to him. He's not doing a very good job, so far as it's true. Yeah, Maneki are usually for luck and fortune, depending on the bow, I think. That's what it was. And for the Daruma doll, it's more about making a wish come true. And yeah, I think it's something like that. You mustn't say such things, and then say what? Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Look at all those books stacked up here. They almost reach the ceiling. They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty. Yeah, I guess he's working on literature even though he's interested in the language. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? You know, what a dreamy idea. A bad dream maybe, for me at least. I do, mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. Is he borrowing them or is he buying them? Reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down to the path of tea ceremony philosophy. And oh, what's that? There appears to be some sort of metal on the wall here. Looks very robust. I wonder what it is. Or there's a slot for inserting coins here too. Is that a phone? Oh no. Well, if that is a gas matter, Mr. Naruhodo. A gas matter. Yes, it seems there is a buy gas in this district, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the matter. If we were to put a coin in the slots, there will be enough gas to use the lights and the gas fire for the whole night. If you're too poor to have a coin, you'd have to spend the night in the dark and freezing cold. That's right. As will the rich man who only carried crisp white notes. London is a scary place. It finally, looks so cute. Oh, hello. Oh, goodbye. What an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. I don't know about that, he disappeared into that pile of books, as quick as a flash. It was a trick on Mickey, wasn't it? Did they even... Calico, no? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought that little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. Already? We've only just been in the country for 2 days. Ooh. Hey, where are you? Meow. I'm back. Oh, hello. Ha ha! Look, Mr. Hodo. It's... Shams! And we do the thing, like... Oh, we're so smart. We're... snapping our fingers. There he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Shams. Let's go! Oh, you too. Good day. Now let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Shams, we were together on the SS Breyer. Yes, of course, the Breyer. Let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Sogi. He died, tragically. You were a great help to us. Oh yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Sogi. He was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Well, yes, but no. You seem to remember something of it, at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Shams. That is, Mr. Oh no, my dear madam, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my secret powers of recollection. Names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. Yeah, close. Close. Not bad. The other way around, but pretty good. I lose the first round. Pretty good. For people he just met one day, not bad. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yenders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. They apprehended Suzuki-san that short of amount of time. I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. It is a mistake to think that one's brain headache has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlets. What are you talking about? Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom. Fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully. Means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, there's some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I shall be only too pleased. This murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Tell me more. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Sasaki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes. For the stabbing of a young woman sighted here on Briar Road. That's weird, what the hell? Huh? Yeah. What's that? Okay. You. Well, not you. Any case, I believe they were the slides. Then Smith denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Mr. Sato. They have not the slightest idea what you mean. What do you mean you don't know? I can't believe he was looking Sato squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. Okay, surely I'm not merely feigning ignorance. I show you. Will appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. How? I assure you have no recollection of accusing your oops, compatriot of the crime. Why was he arrested? Doesn't make any sense. The detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I could verbatim him. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing this crime scene. Okay, I see. Not because you flee that you're actually a betrayer. Man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement of the scene. In the book place, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, what did you say? I believe there is this receipt around here, somewhere from the establishment in question. You don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. It was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I found myself quite lost in bibliophilia. W? I don't know. Don't be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. That Mr. Gardeb. Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Mr. Gardeb? A retired military man. The first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is services. What the first time I ever met a maid from the Great British Institution that is service. service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to be betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing, sorry. But simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. The other echelon of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Oh, like the series. I see. Oh, extraordinary. As you can appreciate from those of the precarious, okay, good, boundary between the middle and low classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the sort of the first importance. I had no idea. It is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. Oh no. Too early, last. I'm fine. Fine. On what he means to say. Woo. This room is for all is suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. Mrs. Natsume has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. Where is that little room, Mr. Sholmes? Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. Bricks? It's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Tax? They do have taxes about this. Surely not the tax on the windows. Precisely that. Why? Until relatively recently, the tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Oh, it makes me think, yeah, I do remember that. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps probably closed the windows up. While the rich opened the windows here, there, and everywhere. In a effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. Oh, awful. And unjust, forcing people to live in the rooms devoid of lights. Indeed, was rife as a result. Some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. Good thing. But its legacy remains, as you can see, is in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London very generous, perhaps. Will appear so. I've done a little digging. I discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. If the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yeah, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. You think? Feel that is of a little relevance here, but are not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, I believe I told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Oh yes, Mr. Nerhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will perhaps be offering you services in this very matter, I wonder. To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? Yes. I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? And trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. You should be the one. No, Ryunosuke, you should be the one you should know the answer. I thought that's why you were here, didn't you? Come back to investigate. Yes, that was indeed my initial intention. There are simply too many fascinating books here. You couldn't possibly ignore them. I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and a witness who swore to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I'm quite sure. The retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Gardeb is... Mr. Sholmes said as much before actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, there is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigation have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence. Right. Perhaps this time we probe a little deeper into Mr. Gardeb's secrets. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the Landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Shall we move? I guess we should. Are you here again? Tell me, was the detective chap, I forgot his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah yes, rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Not a good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, John. Now then, what do you tell me? What? Why is it? Is it always happening like that? Will you watch that you bully well doing? We shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Ah, yes, of course. Perfectly rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave. You'd be so kind. Oh yes, of course. We're deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with your foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gardeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. What is he doing here? What a wonderful collections of cake lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? A bit of quality, but yeah. Someone has half demolished them to me. Authenticity is the tea of a time of indulgence, you know. It's quite the English way. It is Mr. Gardeb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful. Wait a minute, though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Well, naturally, it will never do to waste the leftovers. Whatever Mr. Garrett doesn't eat, I say to myself, you unusual have to tidy up. Oh, magnanimous of you. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual. A bit broken, actually. Genuine London dresser, isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is, oh dear, it is in pieces. It really is. The wall crack wouldn't do that kind of wear justice. You know? I don't know. You know? I wonder. As the cannon was fired at it. It's probably something like that. Let's not dwell too deeply here. Look at that enormous screen. This had been put there deliberately, surely. It certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder. I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Maybe let's not, Mrs. Sato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. That portrait of Mr. Garrett is glaring at me, I swear. Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garrett as well? And there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. He seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with their little trinkets. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs the place is a bully wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now that I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving that place with something I don't need. The lion ornaments selling does seem surplus to requirements. Doesn't pull her punches or her throws for the matters. Are those smaller shells? They're enormous. Noticed. Why they're here? Are those all things? Above little rounds actually fired into the barracks during training, you know? Give a bit of colorful regiment folklore, that instance. I mean, you deliberately hunted out the spent shells. Well, I would say deliberately exactly. They only scrap iron after all, usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what exactly? Well, obviously, throwing it at people. When here, didn't manage to knock one of the ballet things on my foot on the other day while she was dusting. I hadn't shed a tear since 1869. Nice. Before then, you know? Maybe reconsider throwing them away. It looks like a Medal of Honor. It's showcased on a very grand banner. It's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not straight. The old thing? Sorry. I shall be glad to see the back of it. The general will turn in his grave if I dispose of it. What's the best place for it? Keeps the ballet thing out of my way. It's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose. There appears to be an inscription of the medal on the medal itself. Look. Let me see. It states, for distinguished participation. Looks like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, doesn't like to blow one's own trumpets, but I was given that for my time in the army. Well, Major, an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course, for knowledge in military circles. Okay, now that you have a pile of books here, Mr. Gardeb, you enjoy reading. You've experienced a long winter, boy. Now it's a long. Better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. Oh, there's a copy of Rand's magazine here, I see. But that Mr. Gardeb enjoys the adventure of Sherlock Holmes too. Great that he has a great many followers, it will seem. There's a full-size cannon. What's it doing in here? It's walking. Can we throw something inside? Maybe it's a replica. The old thing? That's a little more than a toy. The army was selling it off when I retired. Decided to give it a new home. You would know when the enemy might attack next. Very useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? Isn't overkill? You prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted wall is going to throw you and throw at you next, boy. You think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Karadev? Always is. Take your hand here. It has to have a clean apron in reserve. Rise them over the barrel, you see? They dry very well in the cannon there. You want to tell me? Which rather proves my point, I feel. They're reduced to a drying rack. And what a huge cannon looks like it's heading its head in shame. Look at here. The uniform looks fairly ancient. It's gotta been well looked after though. That old thing, not much better than rags really. Well, that ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know. I'm not one for dwelling on the past. Would have gladly thrown it away. Out, when you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have the old piece of memorabilia lying around, does it? Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes. He's back already. We meet again, my dear fellows. Gracious, when did you sneak in here? Hello, Sholmes, sir. At your service. What were you doing over by the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly as cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. While keeping an eye to one's window. Why are you sweating like that? It's the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Suspicious. Is Moonman maybe the one who did it? And one other thing, Mr. Naruto. I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Not talking about, is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. No, really? Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There's a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruto. I think so. It is just time enough for one of my greatly admired dread addictions. Let's conclude the matter before dark. Let's go! Let's go! Mr. Garadev, though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. First, is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. And the second, is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Sir Naruto, look, the old man's broken out in his cold sweats. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusion are both spot on. How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. We're in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning. I am the king of beasts. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go! The game is afoot! Okay, topic number 1. Nature of the beasts. Cat? It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. The fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. I love that. I really love that. Next, we are faced with the question of what form might the beast take. For a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear imposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this, people? In the end, your admiration becomes so great, in fact. You had a living, breathing specimen, shipped from India, which you try to keep in this very house. Living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chink traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous. It is plain to me with one glance in your direction. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circuit show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadeb, at Betty's Circus. A traveling show currently is sojourning in the nearby park. You've observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. Doesn't exist. A simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. See? He's worse than Iris. Okay, aftermath. Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritable tangible. Not sure. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by the supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man, simply. But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of the gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains an old demon for payments. Or carloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive woolen carpets, if I'm not mistaken. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. The wandering eye has known upon the answer very nearly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpets, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. What? There's no creature more dangerous on this earth than the beast with an insatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by some noble woman, they have no bread, let them eat cake? Who said that again? What is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact? Whatever do you mean? We're tired With the taste of the cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need to not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Walked into a frenzy by hunger. The lion attacked and ate the carpets. The teeth marked in the carpet are a perfect match. Those of a lion I once saw in India. Are there lions in India? And there's elephants? Without any defense? But about lions, I don't know. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Time to do the thing! What's the matter with you, Yuan? You bring scalding hot tea all over me. I'm sorry, Mr. Garadeb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My dictions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that you can't run off over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Mr. Holmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why suddenly, Mr. Narhodo? What is it again? The detection just now. You really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. Clarifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. Let it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well. If an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, then Mr. Garadeb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. That's where you are stuck. And that the former military man held his own against the beast using the large cannon. Will you say that he sold the lion to the circus? And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing, but wheat and tea. Why this suddenly occurs to me with some irregularity. Irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, infused with a highly appropriate taste of or afternoon tea. And for lions, well, I guess he can even, what do we say again? Raise his little finger with his drinking tea, I guess. What a glorious nation. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. And the feeling that was coming. A slight mistake. That's all Mr. Holmes' predictions need. Message? You can do it. Excellent, I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward. Mr. Naruhodo? I don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Nasumi's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let's start again. From the beginning of Sherlock Holmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Let's go! Correction. I shouldn't take a great detective to see. Yeah. It feels some beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we're faced with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Where was I again? Sorry about this. It does seem as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. It's something with a very fierce nature. It couldn't have been a lion transported from India. But what was it then? Let's follow Mr. Garadeb's gaze that will lead us to the true answer. Why is it answer, not nature? Oh, what's this photograph? It appears to be from Gary Deb's wedding. Looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate, something must have struck glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Is it really the only thing interesting here? I guess it is. The glass is broken so you can't see the bride's face at all, and no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. I think Waffle will be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure. Look, have you noticed here? A wedding ring is very large, isn't it? Was her hand to begin with? That's her hand? Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. What is the true nature? Is it bride? It will be weird. Water shells? No. Well, that's the only thing left, so I guess it is. I find it so weird. All that's, well, the beasts run rampant. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newly wed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, you can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution will be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. You might be talking to someone just in this room. Just saying. Blade, the fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garadeb. Jing traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your reaction. The dress pocket gives us a hint at some clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Well, no. I don't know about fragile. Oh dear, anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Miss Garadeb anywhere. It seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts, a clue that his mate is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadeb's wife could be. Maybe in her outfits? The bots? No. Pockets? No. Oh no. Hairs? That's a nice ribbon. What a charming little teapot, and it's in pristine condition. And has been pouring some delicious fragrant tea from it for Mr. Garrett, hasn't she? Well, not so much for Mr. Garrett. As on Mr. Garrett, will you say? Wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. What was the question again? Oh. Years ago I read about a pot like this in a book. But the way that she acts is obviously weird. So I would say that will be interesting. But maybe I need to look through these flyers again. We established what caused all the damage. Yeah, Mr. Garrett's wife. Just a question of finding out where she is now. For some reason I feel as though she's very nearby. Evidence to prove it. Well, we don't really have any evidence, do we? To lie shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips. To prevent any secrets from slipping out. Round cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. The nervingly powerful woman, Miss Sato. I'm afraid that's unnerving. That's the only thing left, is it? It certainly does appear to be circus handbill poking out from the pockets. But this circus currently performing shows in the park not far from here. Don't think. Well, Mr. Garrett did sell his wife to the circus. Only joking. What have gone with? Do you think he fed her to his pet lion? Oh. Wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Indeed it does. That fiery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. Or it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garrett's bride in his photographic prints. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garrett's lucky bride. You are Miss Garrett herself. Actually, what's the point of doing this? Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightfully summarized, this is the wife, yes. My Joanne. Rather than let herself go, you might say, but she was a bully cocker back. What do you mean? Well, appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? Try to tell you. Well, second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? I call it a sorry thing. When chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. As here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered warfare society, but employs no staff at all. Though in my considered point of opinion. Yeah, English. In my considered opinion, such concern about appearances of a folly. You mean Mr. Garrett has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrett? Only company, obviously, but isn't here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. What about the aftermath? Now, Mr. Gradeb, it's very clear that you still have deep feelings for this vulnerable beast. Indeed, in that brave pose, the stress this loss has caused you is very tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by the swelling arm. Still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast. The one that feels rather uncomfortable. And Miss Garadeb is standing beside her husband, who speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? All true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seemed to be propping up his head. Some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible though. What could that pose of his really signify? Still that candle. The pipe. It's a very large pipe, isn't it? Pipe? I don't know. With something that size hanging out of his mouth or her mouth. His or her mouth on a regular basis. Should you have a serious chain like Mr. Garadeb's? What's that wine binding around it all about? What was the question? I mean, it shows that it's broken, or at least it was broken at some points. So it's kinda useful. I don't see why it's wrong. And also I don't see what we can use. I myself wanting never to have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Oh, what happened? Hey, really? I mean, we can't move, so we're not allowed to do anything. That's so dumb sometimes. But at the same time, it's also to help us. But I don't like that. Because we're not free from exploring the whole area. Well, I'm lost. Oh. Oh. It really looks like a shadow when you think about a fire. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulder, the pain you feel being revealed by the slapped cheek. And of course, the delivery of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Yuan Garadeb? Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. All the blazes. You walk that out, man. Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. Keep your other side from view. Now let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garadeb to fly into rage. We need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills now. Then Mr. Sholmes says that the bills were all for Lion's father. Yes, but now we established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garadeb's wife. This bears another thing. Yes, well, he's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that he left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. Ooh, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrett is clearly an avid reader. Wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's writing. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Looks next to the signature here. Name marks. Made with lipstick. What a passionate and romantic gesture. That's not a good thing. This mark is actually a love note then. Obviously that's. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh James, I love you, yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note to send Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here. I don't know the ballet woman. You don't know her. The note wasn't written to me, but just in the book. I don't know how it got there. What's just in there, you say? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Likely story. Listens here. You want old thing? Explained at the time. I bought the book on that second-hand place, and the note must have already been in here. Previous owner of the book was using the note as the bookmark, you say? That's right, that's what I've been saying. That's some abuse. Anyway, a likely story. For heaven's sakes, woman, look at the name, it's written to James. Hey James. My name is, you'd forgotten, it's John. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? There we have it. James. James. Rouse the suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bites. Now in the fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last and unimaginable attack. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive woolen carpets, if I'm not mistaken. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. The wondering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of that carpet, we need only to look at the Tower of Cakes. The Miss Garrett didn't eat the carpets. Of course not. Doesn't seem to be any doubt. In the state of disarray that this room is in the result of her wild temper. That's true. This is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Miss Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Let's see. Oh. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small, surely it's very unstable. Looks to me like even the slightest knock will make it topple over. That will be dangerous. Take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. I didn't notice this before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle out of the three missing from its holder? What's here? The carpet here has been ripped to shreds, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, tears match those made by the Indian lion's teeth exactly. Look here. If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. So you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Well, if we can't select the candle, then I guess we'll only select the candlestick. Yeah, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the candlestick. What's illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth? Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks. It will appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Miss Gerardev's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of a strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. In seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. The most ferocious beast in this world is neither vile lion nor vengeful woman, but fire. In this room, that ferocious beast bared its claw and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion here. After the sparks of metal discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir, I salute you. Good job. The addiction complete. Elementary. It's these dash long-winded nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. In the pages of one particular novel, I discovered some rather illicit material, which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Not know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly inept. Here we go again. And the carpets was that destroyed by fire when the candle fell on the floor. Right to say it was, but in a blink of an eye, you know. Whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a barely thing. Must go between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You painted horrid pictures, sir. One that will have been most entertaining. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The belly furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Gerardeb. Well, you have nothing more to hide now. You'll allow me. And all my favorite old novels in that case. As soon as the fire got hold of them, there was it, whoosh, up in smoke. And the wife started howling things to me. What a terrible sight it must have been. Was I. Back up against the window and the heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 off to the dozen. Most of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Oh yes, and the thirst love of big cats coming through again. I didn't influence my choice in the slightest. He did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Sholmes' addiction turned out to be correct once again. It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was all carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fellow. Out of interest, what time of day was it? It was 2 days ago now, let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. Oh, that's why. Exactly the same time as the terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. All of bloody cold have been flattened outside my window at that moment. I wouldn't have noticed a dash thing. Really. Mr. Sholmes, This is Mr. Nahodo. What can I do for you? I think we've got the bottom of Mr. Garadeb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? Well, nothing. Except one. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army men to be hiding something, I couldn't be sure that his secret will prove to be relevant or not. Of relevance. What a weird way of telling things. I just knew you were going to say that. Not now, Mr. Nahodo, you mustn't lose hearts. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. Obviously. I mean, can't be in between. It makes no sense to me. But no matter, it is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Is it that time already? But to send Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. But that's it. No more time to think. As you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now, I must prepare a supper for Mr. Garadeb. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Kisan will be waiting for us. I'm going to have to give him an answer. Let's go right now. We'll stop just before the trial, I guess. Or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. It's my choice here. It's time, Mr. Nahodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a Hey, they're gone. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there, in front of the Garadeb's house. I know thee not, Omen, or to the prayers. What are you calling an Omen, you rum-looking nimini pinimini? Hey, it's Popeye. Popeye? I don't know. No, Popeye is a restaurant. Yeah. Who's this Horatio fellow? What are you on about? Excuse me. What? Why are you now? I'm sorry, just looked as though there might be some problem here. As nice to sit here, Mr. Rona Skinner Hodo. He's a lawyer, you see? Lawyer. Can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. I'll be on my way from that today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to Nedry. You look like you're blubbing none to you. What are they? I hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, you are so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? Almost more things in heaven and half, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here, in the Garadeb residence? President Maiden, thou art so right, as I do dwell in this humble abode. That he had another lodger, did he? Just made a man. You happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. More warfare polemist in my battle of wars. Neither could there be. Okay. That's all you say. Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I spare long into the night. Are they friends? I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintance at least. So fair maiden, so good gentlemen. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I don't really understand him. I think he should return to his room. He seems unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume. He can't help us. With Suki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garadeb house is suddenly full of eccentrics. I'll go and find your carriage. I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Hello. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Welcome, Mr. Naruto Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. Well, sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. No, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Double nurturing, never failing Nipponese. Now let's not get carried away. I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the facts. Such is my belief, at least. It's you, the miserable rotten spy. Alok Shams. Mr. Shams, what are you doing here? No intention of doing anything per se. Stay observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Shams? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in the gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home, see how the vested friend is faring. Vested? Oh yeah, gloomful room. Place your combination here offers a window, my dear fellow. That sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. How dare you, Alok Shams. It's really dramatic. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. What a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is be damned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? You mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth, Mr. Mustache Schwartz. Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Are you talking about the cat, actually? Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by that you just said now? We'll try tomorrow being cursed. Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. You're trusting me. Stop moving. We're just getting carried away, that's all. I don't mean anything by it. I see. That's re-agitating him. You don't mean the trial rig is cursed somehow? We're referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey. What do you mean? Please tell me. The defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution, ever. It really be true, there was 16 awards exactly. Yesterday, Mr. Naruto successfully defended someone against the Reaper, but then after the trial was over, I don't think you should say this. The defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. I'm impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Shams, really it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, rather than killed the man himself. Couldn't have, surely. You have some wonderful notions. The man isn't the mass murderer, he's a co-prosecutor, my dear fellow. Why, of course he is. Of course he is. Then why trying to scare me? Why are you shouting every time? I can do that too! Could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your pathesis. What do you mean by that? I don't really like my defendants, but it's not because I don't like him that we shouldn't defend him. Quite an exceptional man, however, in London courts of law. Exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, is both a judge and jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, while the jury offers public opinion, common sense. Common sense. For sure. It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right, criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matters, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. As such, on the hand, means those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. It's redone. It means that the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation. That's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Vinzix cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is more striking. It's stressing me out. All by all matters of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are troubled, others pressing courage, perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. For example of the reality events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Nahordo. It's stressing me out. I can feel my heart beating weirdly. Damn it. When you said accused lodging before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garrett's house, I assume. I mean to say you believe that place is cursed. It's been a year now since I came to the Great Britain. I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. It didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. Watching people were talking about me. I started to become nervous and going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time for down till. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't get away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road, a week ago now. Why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenience. Peep. Have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course I asked why it was so affordable. I was just simple. The room is cursed. Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him. If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place! That's annoying, right? Right? Well said. It was true, it was all true. I will never do it again. It was just an example of how I felt it. I don't want to defend this man just because how awfully annoying he is. His sleep has been plagued with nightmares, a weak feeling as though I'm being choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the streets. My brother's a killer. Thrown in prison, nobody wants to know me. Yeah, let's forget about him. Let's go. Only there was someone, just one person on my side. And no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me. Really, no one. I want to believe in you, really. Not like I hate you, but I like your character. I don't like your character. Ray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Berea. You recall? Berea, yes, the Berea. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. That time I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. You helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why. Why do you believe me? I say yes, you mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow from with the victim in the locked room. Well, if you like, yes. I'm not surprised to the answer, that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts, but you must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I did recall believing in you, knowing that which you were telling me. You see, the only things I believed in are those I choose to believe in. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. I only believe in my experience, is what he wants to say. Exactly what I like. If you should like to believe in something, I do completely come in hang as far as I'm concerned. I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Self-trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is the final analysis down to oneself. It doesn't matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. He's right. He's right, like Mr. Nord Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. If his lawyer is only as good as his faith in his clients, that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Kazuma, I miss you. You were so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, this time we're leaving, I believe. Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there? It's Natsume. You like, you try tomorrow. I'd be happy to represent you. Welcome to Mr. Nerhard Esquire. Very long. They said I only experienced British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial. What to believe in. Defendant, justice, or the truth. What to believe even. But I think I finally walked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. It's imperative that we prove that in court. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. That will permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me, in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It will be fair to say, Mr. Nahodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mr. Sato, you'll be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in the courts? Absolutely. I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. shocking events of yesterday's trial will weigh heavily on my mind. It's time to stop looking backwards. Isma believed in me. Mr. Sholmes believe in me too now. So it's time that I learn to believe in myself. His son has no one, he's all alone. It's my job to help him to find his corner. Tomorrow in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. And I guess that is with that we'll leave. As always, thank you very much for watching, and it's time to talk about things, well, simple. Maybe at the end of the video, but after all, it's just before I come back. So, right now, if you remember, those are videos because I'm away for 5 months, and this is the last video, so that means that I'll come back the next week. Something like that. I don't know if I'm a bit too tired to stream or not, but this is what I need to tell you. That I might not be ready to come back to those games. I might be a bit lost with Ace Attorney Chronicles, with Octopath Traveler, and also with Persona, I think. I think I finished Tales of Arise, but I'm not even sure because I recorded this before I do my last streams, you see. In any case, thank you very much. And yeah, see you next time. For this time, we'll be streaming on Twitch, usually. And also we will have videos on YouTube. Anyway, have a good day or good night and see you later. Ciao. Finally finished, damn. It took me a really long time. With my personal projects, yeah. Kinda hard to do. But well, finally at the end. See you. See you next week. And yeah, take care of yourself.